We all have dreams of having these massive game collections. Now these collectibles, are becoming more and more expensive as time goes on. That's why today I'm showing you how to start a game collection. Now the first thing I would recommend doing is collecting games and consoles you're actually interested in. This is because you have a personal connection with them, making it very important you buy them first in case the price goes up. Now if you still don't know what to collect, I recommend collecting games from the era you grew up in, as they're cheap and you probably wanted them when you was growing up. Once you found the one you want, start small. Start by buying the console and a few games you're interested in. A lot of people buy a console and buy every game under the sun for it. A lot of games not interested in playing and never will. This will just take up space and a lot of money we don't have. Now when buying games and consoles, don't just buy the mint condition stuff. That stuff is way overpriced and you don't need it. Just buy the cheapest you can afford that actually works and you'll be good. You don't need Mario mint copy, you don't need that stuff, okay? Just start buying games. Don't wait for a mint copy of Mario 64 misprint in Japan. You've decided what you want, now it's time to start buying. Start by looking at places like charity shops. Yes, I know, that's shops for old people and old people's clothes. Well, I actually like the smell of old people's clothes. Thank you very much. Charity shops can have some rare games for an extremely low price. Recently, when I went to the charity shop, I got this copy of Mario Kart Wii for £2, when it's actually worth 26. Ladies, keep away. This man is a bargain finder. The ladies love when I tell them that. But there's no guarantee of finding anything in a charity shop. It could just be old people's knickers. But for some, that's still a win. If you're looking for a specific game, I recommend Kex. Of course, if you live in the UK. Kex sells used games and consoles for a really good price. Kex also has a 12-month guarantee, which protects you in case the game or console doesn't work. I think if it's a console, it's 2 years. I found Rayman 3 at Kex for £3.50, which is a really good price. And it's kind of a hard game to find. You're not just going to walk into your local shop and find it. But that's one of the best places in the UK. If you live outside the UK, the only other one I can recommend slightly is eBay. Now, eBay has its ups and downs. You can find pretty much any game you ever wanted, but at what cost and what condition, I don't actually know. The problem with eBay, it all depends on the seller. Because if you got a good seller, then you're pretty much alright. But you got a bad seller, either they'll screw you over on the price, or send it broken, or many things. And eBay isn't the best at helping. Many times I've contacted eBay and they've been a freaking nightmare. So I wouldn't recommend eBay as your first resort, but as a last resort, it can be okay. Just check their reviews, because it is very risky. Of course, if you can think of other places to buy games from, leave it down in the comments below. Once you have the console and games, it's time to set up. The first thing I would do is find a nice safe place to put the console, as it's best to start making it look neat now than later, because once you've got all these cables everywhere, it's a freaking nightmare to try and neaten it out. So start now to make it easier later. Of course, this will make it easier to grow your collection, so when you get a new console, you can put it next to that one, next to that one, next to that one, and make a nice little, well, game collection. But one thing I would definitely suggest is make sure that there are no faults with the console or games. Because you're probably buying older consoles and games, if there's any faults, they can become very severe and possibly break the console or game, meaning you've lost your money. Unless you got like a 12-month guarantee with Kex. That sounds like a sponsor. I wish it was, because it isn't. But yeah, just look for anything, even small things. Because a lot of the old games have little batteries in, especially Nintendo ones, which when they die, I think you have to get replaced or it's pretty much useless. Once you've got it all set up and you've got a few games you like, I would continue growing the game collection. I wouldn't move on to a different console. The reason for this is because it's best to focus on one console at a time, then move on to the next one. Achieve one goal, then move on to the next one. If you start mix and matching, oh, I want to get this game, I want to get this game, I want to get that, then you're never going to get every game you want to get. Focus on one console at a time, then move on. Of course, once you start your game collection, I'd make a list of everything you want to get. For example, GameCube and then Mario games, and then like PS1, then like Resident Evil and stuff like that. Just make a list and work your way through, then move on. Now, hopefully your game collection's in full swing, but I will say one thing. Don't forget to take progress pictures. It's great to see how much your collection has grown, and the only way to do that is by taking pictures. You can also share your journey online with other users, which can create a nice little community around your collection, which can be a lot of fun. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. If you did enjoy, you might enjoy this video. Now, in this video, I share my game collection and everything I own, which might give you some ideas. Of course, I don't have the biggest game collection in the world. Well, I hope you enjoyed. If you did enjoy, please consider subscribing and join the Insta Army, and I'll see you next time. See ya!